I left the parish in 2013, and I joined the Society of Saints Sulpice, which is a Society of Apostolic Rite Society of Apostolic Life of Pontifical Rite. Now, what does that mean? It means that every member of the society is a diocesan priest on permanent loan by their bishop to work for the society, which was founded in France in 1641, to do seminary work. So in the United States, we founded St. Mary's in Baltimore, Mount St. Mary's in Emmitsburg, the seminary in Boston, the seminary in New York, the seminary in Detroit, San Antonio, and there are two others that are now closed. So we've been at this for a long time. We've been in the United States since 1791. So I actually remain a priest of the diocese. I never have not been a priest of the diocese. It's just that I'm on permanent loan by the bishop of this diocese to do this work. So when you meet the Sulpicians, there's only about 50 of us in the United States. And there's probably about 100 in France and about 75 in Canada. Those are the three big provinces. And we're all over the world. So I'm going off to Rome on Tuesday. And I don't actually start classes till October 2, which is late, because I'm not very smart. The reason is everyone class starts on October 2. So classes start there pretty late. So I joke that by the time I'm starting classes, my students in Baltimore will be on fall break. Okay, they'll already be 5 weeks in. So what am I doing between now and October 2? Well, when I land in Rome on Tuesday, I have about 3 days worth of appointments with immigration in Italy with my visa. And I have to go and take all these tests to be a resident in Italy. And it's really hard. So when people complain that it's hard to become an American citizen, it's really easy to become an American citizen. I mean, trust me, becoming an Italian, just a resident is hard. Okay. So I'm going to be doing that, and then I'm going to Florence on Sunday, a week from today. I'll be in Florence for 4 weeks. And I'm living in Florence, taking Italian classes at this academy called Dante Alighieri. And I'm going to be learning Italian because all of my classes in theology at the graduate level are in Italian. So I love American, but I'll be speaking Italian, Father Di Martino's native tongue. Which is really Brooklyn, not even English. It's just Brooklyn. Okay, so that's it. So then my classes start October 2, and I'll be back for Christmas, and then I'll be back in the summers, because the city closes down in the summer. Just a tourist stay. The Romans get out of town, because it's too hot. So I'll come back to America July, August, September, and then back to Rome in October. So we'll see how long it is before they kick me out, but hopefully I'll be able to stick around long enough to actually get some degrees that mean something. So I'm going to, when I'm in Rome, I'll be studying at what's called the Pontifical Lateran University, which is also known as the Pope's College. And it's at the Lateran Palace, which is where St. John Lateran is. It's the Pope's Cathedral. It's not at the Vatican, it's kind of on the north side of the city. So to get to school every morning, I have to walk 50 minutes or take the subway. I'll take the subway. So the Rome subway has 2 lines, by the way. It's not very extensive. So so I'll be studying at what's called the Accademia Alfonsiana, which is the academy named after St. Alphonsus Liguori, who's a patron saint of moral theologians. It's run by the Redemptorists, but it's part of the Lateran University. So my degree or degrees will say from the Lateran University, not from the Alfonsiana. So I'll be studying in the area of moral theology. And my area of specialization probably will be in the area of social ethics. In particular, I'll probably write on the area of immigration and the moral implications of a humane Christian view of how to treat immigrants and emigrants and refugees, which is, I think, a pretty germane topic in most parts of the world these days. I think you'd agree. So I wanted to thank Father publicly for opening up the parish to me this past year. As I mentioned, I guess it's a 10:30 Mass, seminary profs don't have weekend work, which is kind of weird. It's kind of weird to be a parish priest and not be busy on the weekends. So last year I kind of moonlighted mostly at St. Mary's in Alexandria with my good friend Father Hathaway. And St. Mary's is, in Old Town, is the oldest Catholic church in the state, in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I think by October they're actually going to be named a minor basilica. It'll be the only minor basilica in our diocese, which is pretty cool. So anyway, at the beginning of the school year, this past school year that ended, I was talking with Father Di Martino, and Father Hathaway, the pastor there, really, there just weren't enough slots for them to need me. And so Father Di Martino changed the Mass schedule, so you now had 5 Masses on Sunday. It used to be 2 on Saturday night, and then 4 on Sunday, but then he changed to the 5 Mass system on Sunday. So, which meant that every weekend, one of the priests had to say 3 Masses, which, while permitted in the Code of Canon Law, is kind of frowned upon. They don't like priests saying that many Masses. It's not good for them spiritually to approach the sacred with so much familiarity. So I just volunteered. I said, Father, I'll take any Mass that starts before 12:15. Because I had to get back up to Baltimore for Vespers in the afternoon for the next day. So I would always take the 7:30 or the 9 or the 10:30. 7:30 and 9:15. So anyway, so that's how I ended up here again with you all, and I've enjoyed it tremendously. And this past summer, I've been pretty busy at the State Department taking Italian. That's what I've been doing most days during the summer, is taking Italian. All of July, I pretty much spent up there. So I'd come home on the weekends, come here on the weekends. Most people didn't even know I was gone during the week. Because for those of you who just come on Sundays, you just see me, like, he must be here all week. No, I've been gone too. I've been up in Arlington. So I've been living at St. Mary's in Old Town, because it's only an 8-mile drive from Old Town to Roslyn, where I take classes. And then kind of the year ends, the summer ends, and it's time to go. So here we are today. So anyway, so I want to thank you again. I didn't get to do this at Mass, but I want to thank you all for coming, and also thank you for all of your welcoming love and support, and pretending that you still knew me when I came back, which is great. So I appreciate that. So I just have one request. Certainly I ask for your prayers. I will rely completely on those as I go overseas. But I also promise, kind of in return, to pray for you, as a parish, when I pray at the bones of St. Peter at the Basilica at the Vatican. So I'll be over there fairly regularly. Our residence is, if those of you who've been to Rome, you kind of identify with this. If you're looking at St. Peter's Basilica from the Via della Conciliazione, like my Italian, okay. Non c'è male, no? Not bad. All right. So you're looking at the Via di Conciliazione. You're looking right up the street at St. Peter's. You would enter the square, which is really a circle, at 6 o'clock, and then you exited at 3 o'clock. You'd walk right by the Porta Santa Ana, which is the gate leading into the Pope's residence. And then, if you just keep on walking along that road, on your right is the Borgo Pio, which is all the nice restaurants. And you hug to the left, you'll see the signs for the Vatican Museum. So those who've been to Rome know kind of where I'm talking about. So when you make that left to go towards the Musei Vaticani, you just go right, about 2 blocks, and that's where I live. It's right near the Piazza Cavour, and it's right in the shadow of the Castel Sant'Angelo, which is the big fortress-looking castle right next to the Vatican with a big St. Michael statue on top. So, like, the back windows of our building look out at that, and the front looks at some nondescript park. So anyway, that's it. And then so I have to take the metro every day to school. 50 minutes walking, but 25 minutes by metro. And then I just go with everybody else in the subway, and I'll probably walk home most days and just kind of get lost in Rome and kind of discover all those great churches and cafes as I make my way back. So I'll be there for at least a couple of years, and it could be up to 5, but I'm hoping to be sooner than that so I can come home, because I love America, and I want to come back to America. I have no really desire to live in Rome any longer than I need to, with all due respect to all the Italians present, but I just don't, because I love America. Okay, so we'll see if we can make Italy great again. Might be hard, but we'll try. I don't even know what that means, really. Just saying. Okay. All right. So thank you so much. I'll be happy to say hi to anybody. I know Father wants to say a few words. He's been patiently waiting here. His holy indifference has been really remarkable here. So here's Father. God bless you guys. Thanks again. Father asked me if I mentioned that he invited me to come back to say the midnight mass here at Christmas. So I'll see you then. Okay, so I might ask you to say it in Latin because that's what they speak in Latin America. Not that they don't speak Latin in Latin America. They speak Spanish in Latin America. People are like, really? They speak Latin in Latin America? No. Okay. Anyway, okay. So Father's been, kind of to ask you to come back. So I'll probably see many of you, hopefully some of you, at Christmas time. Thanks again. God bless.
I'm very grateful to Father Lino's words, telling Father Magat not to be afraid. I don't think he'll be afraid. He's been to San Francisco already. So I think he'll do fine in Rome. Okay? But as you know, there's no way to thank God enough for the gift that Father Magat has been to our parish. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed that I was blessed to have as my first parochial vicar, Father Magat. As you know, I used to go up to him and say, Father Magat, you are the best parochial vicar I have ever had. And he would reply,
I'm the only parochial vicar.
But now I've had several. That means I'm getting older and older. But Father, everyone has made their impact, but you and I did a lot together here, with 5 wonderful, wonderful years that I can't imagine having had without you. At one point, I don't know if you know this, a parishioner wrote a letter to Bishop Laverty about us, about Father Magat and I. He meant it to be a good letter. But he said, Bishop Laverty, having Father Magat and Father Di Martino is kind of like having peanut butter and jelly. One only hopes the bishop took that the way it was intended. Okay? So I was thinking about that when we had our Mass today with Father Lino, and I thought, well, here we are with peanut butter, jelly, and fajitas. I felt a little guilty up there at the end of the Mass. We needed an Irishman desperately up there. Okay? The Irish were not represented. So I'm surrounded by these great priests who speak many languages. Father Lino brought me a beautiful present back from Mexico. The Liturgy of the Hours in Spanish. I'm not getting very far yet. But I'm old. You can't teach the old dog new tricks. Okay, so Father, thank you. We go with our love and with our blessing and our prayers.